If you find out your ex has a rebound, here's how to think about it. Here's what to do. I'm Benny Lichten-Wallner. I help people get their exes back. All I do is talk to people in breakups every single day. I've heard every single story. I know exactly what to do in every single situation. And when your ex has a rebound, it's not the end of the world. It doesn't necessarily mean game over. You have to understand the circumstances under which people seek rebounds to begin with, okay? It's because they're running away from problems in the relationship, either because of, sometimes people do it, because they, you broke their trust or something. They start dating other people right away. But typically it's stress and overwhelm, and they're trying to run away from their feelings, so they go find some kind of distraction, and that can be a rebound. When you select people on the criteria of just having problems in your last relationship, that is not good selection criteria, number one. So because your ex isn't dating a shit ton of people, being very selective, intentionally looking for qualities, being choosy, dating a lot of different people, they're just latching on to some random fuckhead that's in their space, or maybe somebody from the past or whatever. It indicates lower compatibility, number one. Now, the second thing is your ex isn't going into therapy in between leaving you and finding this new person. So what does that mean? It means that they're going to carry the same exact problems into the new relationship, the same conflict patterns, and they're going to end up running away from that person most likely over time. And the time frame that you need to be concerned about is really somewhere between 3 and 6 months. If everything goes well with your ex in this rebound, okay, maybe they'll last 3 to 6 months, which is the length of time that a honeymoon phase lasts for. And during that time, the body's producing serotonin and dopamine, right? And, nobody shoots up drugs and purposefully ruins their high after that. If they're high on drugs for this new person, they're going to ride it out, at least unless something goes wrong. So maybe give them 3 to 6 months, and then you're going to start to see some failure, and your ex might come back around and start messaging you when they start to have issues. Now, you have to understand, new relationships are really, really, really volatile. There is a lot of shit that can go wrong, and you're going to have a hard time vibing with this, because right now maybe they're posting this new person and it seems like they just found the love of their life and all this kind of shit, and all you can do is just see their happiness whilst you're super unhappy. But you have to understand, the more your ex hangs out with this new person, the more complacent they will get, the more familiar they'll get. Now, why does this matter? Well, A, it lessens attraction, but B, it speeds up the length of time that the honeymoon phase will last for. In other words, it'll shorten it, okay? And so the more they hang out, if they're laughing on the phone, talking on the phone all the time, hanging out in person, talking for hours, blah, 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 going on lots of dates, this will speed up the amount of time. It's going to shorten that honeymoon phase. Also, they can start arguing. When the honeymoon phase is over, that's when conflict's going to come into play. But they could even start arguing before that and break up because of that. And that new person's ex can come in and shake things up and cause problems too. There is so many things that can go wrong with a rebound relationship. So don't freak out. It doesn't mean that you're just shit out of luck now. They broke up with you out of nowhere and found somebody new, and now they found happily ever after in the space of 2 seconds, and you still love them? No. They still have feelings for you. They suppress them. They distracted against those with this new person, and it's probably going to fail. So look, if you want a game plan, even if your ex has a rebound, I'll tell you what you got to do in order to be able to get them back. Click into my profile. There's a link right here. When you click that, you can set up a call with me, and we'll go over everything. You tell me your story. I'll tell you exactly what to do in this situation.